I was a kid growing up, I figured I would be a natural history artist. I lived in the suburbs of Westchester County, and
right.
the only nature that I was really exposed to on a daily basis was like the edges of golf courses and shit like that. And I was hungry for it. So I would find the little stream and I would catch frogs all day, and then like I had a baby snapping turtle, and pretty soon I started bringing wild animals into my room. And the tradition starts with a watercolor on paper that's a rabbit that Dürer painted, in 1515. The idea of really observing an animal rather than having a medieval chapbook that teaches you how. And to know the kind of creative thing that you want to tap into, you watch kids at the beach making sandcastles. And the tide is coming in, and the kids are like arguing about it, and the one is the creative director one, and he's all like, no, we gotta do it this way. And they're playing, but it's fucking life or death. But then the wave comes in, takes it all away, and it's not important in a way what the result is. The creative process is what's driving those kids. I think it's super important when you're kind of stuck in a creative impasse of any kind to just ask yourself, like, what got me excited when I was 10 years old? I want to be able to be like, thank God it's Monday, and go into the studio and so I did end up with this fusion of like narrative, natural history. I get to read history books all day, pick out stories that interest me, elaborate on them, make these fantastic giant watercolors that nobody's made before. And so it's all an approach, right? Because there's a very, very fine line between a Norman Rockwell painting and Géricault's Raft of the Medusa.
Yes.
The Raft of the Medusa, it was a shipwreck, basically that thing that just happened in Korea. That's what that's about. Right. A boat went down, all the big shots jumped off the boat and left everybody else to drown. So that happens all the time. And Géricault's like, I gotta paint about that. It's a huge injustice, so he made this epic painting about it. That's an illustration ripped from the headlines. It might as well be like a page in the New York Times Magazine. But when you look at the shipwreck, it's like life. Everything that you know about human condition feels like it's in that painting, and you're gobsmacked and you're blown away. And the scale, they're larger than life-size figures, and the emotional charge and the color and everything is making you go crazy. It's hard to resist that painting. Okay. Then you look at a Norman Rockwell, not that they're not great at what they do, but there's a kid and he's opened the drawer and he's found the costume of Santa Claus in the drawer, and he realizes that his dad dresses up as Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus. And he stands there looking at the viewer with his sad expression, and there's no other interpretation possible.
There you go.
You can't, he's taken all the life out of that thing. He's telling you how to feel and think and look. And he gives you no escape even compositionally. He pushes everything right up to the front, with that wall that's right flat behind you, and you fucking suffocating in his whimsy. Right, whereas with Géricault, you can look at that and for hours and get something new out of it. This isn't about just paint, this is about people and love and death and sex and emotion.